Welcome back to JP26. This is your boy JP. And of course, this is Studio 26. We're celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And I know you guys may have heard the rumor. You're like, JP, you claim to be Irish, but I heard a rumor that your little sister can outdrink you? Well, here's the thing about rumors, guys. Not all of them are true, all right? I mean, this one is, but it's not the point.
Keep it real, JP. 26 for the studio. What's the deal lately? To the 6 storylines we go. Keep it real, JP. 26 for the studio. What's the deal lately? To the 6 storylines we go. Hey, JP. In Ireland we call you the cloud, because when you leave it's a lovely day.
Storyline number 6, Kevin Vallejos. Star in the making. And yeah, am I talking about this guy because there was like nothing else to talk about from the UFC card? Kind of. I mean, there was a lot of finishes, don't get me wrong. It was cool. As a fight fan, I liked it because I like watching, people get knocked out.
Man, you should have been bobbing and weaving.
But there wasn't a lot of meaningful fights for future championship possibilities and things like that. Now, I say there wasn't a lot because I have a feeling that this guy right here will be in some championship fights in his career.
I like this one.
You guys don't know who he is. His name is Kevin Vallejos. He's from Argentina. The only loss he's had in his career is to the hot name in the UFC right now, Jean Silva.
What do you mean by that?
And that was a pretty close fight, although Jean Silva did get the best of him. This guy is very young, and he's up and coming, and he's only getting better every time we see him fight. A lot of people are drawing comparisons to Ilia Topuria with the way they fight and their style, their build, kind of low center of gravity.
It's true.
And the way they back people up to the cage and put that right hand over the top on people and knock them out. Utilizing the body, using crisp boxing. I can definitely see those things within Kevin and his style as well. I think that's a pretty good comparison. So I'm pretty excited to see what this guy is going to do in the future. I would imagine he's going to be within the top 15 here pretty shortly, just because I don't see a lot of guys between here and the top 15 that are going to give him any problems. And so I think he's probably going to rise up pretty quickly. So we're going to keep our eyes out for Kevin Vallejos. But that is my storyline number 6. Keep your eye out for this guy. He is probably going to be doing big things within the sport. And if you like motherfuckers that knock people out, this is probably your guy.
That's it, boy. Get in there nice and deep like.
Storyline number 5, March Madness. Everybody's going to be putting their brackets together. It's that time of year again. Will any of us be correct? No, we won't. But we're going to have a lot of fun picking them, okay? So we're going to give it a shot anyway. And even though we're all going to be wrong, we're all going to go for that perfect bracket. We will be doing our bracket here on JP26 next week. We're going to put that show together before the tournament starts. And then we will be putting out the episode to see how our picks went.
Can't wait.
It's going to go pretty horribly for my picks, I would imagine. But you know what? Who gives a fuck?
You are coping and seething.
We're going to have the Chief give his picks as well. So stay tuned for that. We are going to make sure that we do our episode and the picks and all that stuff before the actual tournament starts. But that will be all on next week's episode. And we will document all those things for you. So we look forward to going over March Madness. You know how it is this time of year, guys. There's going to be a lot of crazy shit that happens. And a lot of picks are going to go sideways that nobody sees coming. But that's the nature of the beast, baby. That's why we love March Madness. So that is my storyline number 5.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Storyline number 4. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Cleveland Cavaliers are absolutely dominating their conferences respectively, and nobody gives a shit in the country.
That is correct.
Everybody wants to talk about Luka and the Lakers. Everybody wants to talk about Luka and the Lakers.
He's a natural athlete.
So is Greg Louganis, but I bet you he get his ass whooped out here.
But nobody wants to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are steady whooping ass all year long.
They're not on my level.
Personally, as a basketball fan, as somebody who enjoys high-level team basketball, I couldn't be more thrilled about this. Because I'm going to be honest with you, even though it's St. Patrick's Day, the Celtics are kind of fucking boring to watch.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Now, I appreciate their brand of basketball because they're very good at basketball. But when you see Donovan Mitchell rock backwards and fucking yeet on somebody, that's my kind of shit. I like it, you know? So let's give a little love to these two teams right here. I know that they're in Cleveland. I know that they're in Oklahoma City. And so the national audience doesn't want to talk about it.
Sir, are you listening to me, sir? Sir, I'm talking to you.
But let's give these guys some love, man. They've been putting together one heck of a year, and they are dominating their conferences respectively. So that is my storyline number 4. Yeah.
What? Were you saying something? Look, I don't speak Spanish.
Storyline number 3. The NFL Draft of 2025. We talked about this last time when I was putting together the initial mock draft. There's going to be a lot of picks that change from that first initial mock draft. Once you start seeing teams' free agent plan, once you start seeing teams and how they're constructing their team and what they're kind of going for, it gets a little easier to navigate the mock. The first one is basically garbage. It's fun because we all love doing them, right? We're all fucking mock draft sluts. That's why we're here right now.
Super horny. That's not funny. Don't rub those.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's the best predictor. So also on next week's episode, along with the NCAA tournament episode, I will be getting a head start on the mock draft. So we're going to do that as well next week. We're going to run through the 32 picks. I will have one more mock draft after that before the actual NFL draft. So you're going to stay tuned for that final edition one. That's the one I'm going to fucking truly stand on. But we're still going to have some fun with it. We're going to do our mock draft next week. And, that's what we're doing. So that is my storyline number 3, the shakeup that has happened and what mock draft projections will be given the free agency and how that impacts it. So that is the story.
It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is?
No, Fugazi. It's fake.
Yeah, fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
Storyline number 2. All right, guys. So here's where we're going to get a little bit controversial. Here's where we're going to probably piss some people off.
Come on. I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. Come on, hit me. Hit me.
But I got to say what needs to be said. I think Seattle did the right thing this offseason, and I think I'm in the minority.
You fucking crazy, man. You sound insane. Do you realize that? You should be medicated.
Why do I think Seattle did the right thing? I like Geno Smith. I like Geno Smith a lot. But I think that there's a pretty clear ceiling on Geno Smith. I don't see Geno Smith winning a Super Bowl. Now, I don't necessarily see Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl either, but I think it's more likely than Geno winning one. And the reason I say that is because despite Sam Darnold and the narrative that's been created around him ever since he was on the Jets, which Geno would know something about.
Whoa.
What the?
I'm Spider-Man. I need you to come with me.
Who the heck are you?
I just told you that. Listen. I'm from the future.
How dare you point at me?
You were pointing first.
Rude to point.
You're being very rude. You're not even believing what I'm saying.
Which one
You're saying I'm
pointed
not who I
first?
say I am.
Spider-Man
That's all
pointed
I am.
first, obviously.
You're pointing at me right now
I'm
as you
not
say
pointing,
that.
you're
Look
pointing.
at you.
I'm
Look
just
at your
pointing at
finger.
your pointer,
Look at your
which is
finger right
different
now.
than
What is
normal
it doing?
pointing.
You are pointing.
You haven't
at me.
seen
You're
pointing
accusing
until I
me
get
of
through with you
pointing.
and that.
He's performed really well, right? Like everywhere he's been in a situation where he necessarily couldn't be the starter, because there was kind of a young incumbent that was coming through, right? And he wasn't the guy that the original general managers or the executives drafted. So just like last year with JJ McCarthy, the Vikings go, hey, we believe in this kid JJ. That's why we drafted him. He's on a rookie deal. Let's let Sam go. We're going to believe in our guy JJ, and we're going to be able to put more talent around JJ because of the cap savings on his rookie deal. Makes a lot of sense.
You serious?
As far as Sam Darnold is concerned in Seattle, think about it. The cap hit for Sam Darnold is less this year than it would have been for Geno. Geno's making more money for his 1 year with the Raiders. Not only that, but because the salary cap just inflated, if Geno wants a long-term deal, he's going to have to get paid more money.
Well, no fucking shit.
Because Geno is not going to go down in his price, right? He's not going to make less than he's making now. So if whatever team has him, which was the Seahawks and is now the Raiders, if you want to sign Geno, you're going to have to pay him more than you just paid Sam. For me, with how many times I had to say Sam Darnold was player of the week last year, I could definitely make an argument that I'd want Sam Darnold over Geno Smith, let alone for less money. And we all need to kind of stop disrespecting Sam Darnold so much, because I'm telling you right now, the guy can fucking spin it. Now, does he hold on to the ball too long sometimes? Sure. And a lot of quarterbacks do. But when he lets that motherfucker go, man, he's got a cannon. He really does. He's got a lot of athletic traits. He's a very smart guy. I think it was a pretty good move from Seattle. And then you say, well, what about trading DK Metcalf? Well, they would have had to sign DK Metcalf for a lot more than they would have signed Cooper Kupp, about double. So they got Cooper Kupp for half as much as they would have got DK Metcalf locked up long term.
Today, Junior?
And in return, they get a second-round pick who they can use to immediately plug in and play and be an impact player. And again, on a rookie contract, which is a big deal. This is where you get a lot of value guys on these first and second round guys. When you can truly hit on them, they're not making a lot of money. So I think that Seattle made a great trade. I think that second round picks are some of the most underrated picks out there, because you don't have to pay that first round money, but you also can get really high level talent. I mean, you could probably go through all the guys in the NFL right now and find almost as many stars that were drafted in the second round as the first round. That's kind of crazy, but it's kind of how it's always worked out.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
No. He's got a point.
So I like the trade for Seattle. I like what they did this offseason. I think that they really need to bolster up that offensive line a bit more, obviously. But that's also why you stack up that pick in the draft, right? You're able to target some more positions than maybe you would have been able to initially. Maybe not reach for talent. Now you can kind of wait on that guy to fall to you. Or maybe he falls to you the first time, you grab him, and then you can attack another position the next round. So I like what Seattle did. You can also package picks together and move up to go get the guy you want. There's a lot of things that Seattle can do now that they've added that extra draft capital with a very valuable second-round pick. So I know I'm probably in the minority saying this, but I thought Seattle got the better of that deal. And the number one storyline this week is the rumored breakup or incoming breakup from ESPN and the UFC. As you guys know, a few years back, the UFC and ESPN reached a deal, which was a big deal for the UFC at the time, getting a much more global audience from ESPN. But apparently, ESPN's not been happy with the pay-per-view numbers.
Pack up all my files. Pile everything you see into a box. Everything. You see a used condom, an executioner's mask, and a goddamn spiked paddle? Don't think. Just pack that bitch.
Now, here's my take on it. I think that pay-per-view numbers are going to decline anyway. I don't think that they're stopping that. anybody with a brain that has the internet and a decent computer is going to be able to figure out there are other alternatives to be able to watch these events without having to pay for them.
Oh, I don't think I'm a lot dumber than you thought that I thought I was once.
I mean, it's just a simple fact. It's kind of an uncomfortable truth, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it's what it is. And I don't think that you're stopping that. I don't think that there's been any evidence that they can stop this. So as this continues, and it's become more and more evident that you're not going to be able to stop that, what's the next best alternative?
I'd like to put some barbecue sauce on that button. Just
Stop it!
Oh, look at that full moon butt. Look at it.
You're going to have to get more money from advertising or streaming platforms. So there is now rumors that the UFC might partner with Netflix or maybe Amazon Prime or whoever it is going to be that does their streaming content. A lot of people complaining, oh, look at, they've had some lag issues and some glitches and stuff like that. As these live sports transition more and more into these streaming platforms, I would imagine the streaming platforms are going to get better and better at doing it. And the reason I say that is because there's far too much free content out there that's good quality content for anybody to want to deal with that. Why would I deal with your streaming platform glitching out when I can go get it for free? I just cancel my subscription and go get that for free.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
So they're going to clean that up, and they're going to get everybody to, okay, I'll just pay the little extra money, to get this or whatever. But the pay-per-view model needs to go. It's a dying model. It's not going to work long term. Certainly in my generation, I can promise you, people ain't paying for that shit. That shit's gone. Okay? So that's my 2 cents on it. I also just want to say that there's going to be some backlash that's happened from the UFC for saying, oh, it's because they're running out of star power. It's because they don't have any stars. Give me a break.
What did he say?
Give me a break. There's a number of stars in the UFC right now. Charles Oliveira isn't a star. Sean O'Malley isn't a star. Islam Makhachev isn't a star. John Jones isn't a star. Alex Poatan Pereira isn't a star. Ilya Topuria isn't a star.
I get it!
Are they Conor McGregor? No. But who is?
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
You know what I mean? See, the thing is, there's no reason that you have to force the star thing. Reality will write its own book. And when there are waves of downtime, that's only going to cause it to uptick something fierce when that next star comes through and really blows the top off the water.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
Somebody made a very good point on Twitter, I thought. They said, hey, Jorge Masvidal was a journeyman until he just rocket launched one year and became a star. And that's the thing. You don't really know what the future holds. You don't really know what the storyline is going to be. But the one thing that I can tell you for sure is reality has a way, if you just let it play out as it will and not try to finagle things all the time, right? Just kind of take a step back, let reality play itself out. It's usually going to be pretty good. Okay? So everybody just needs to chill the fuck out, enjoy the fights.
Want to get down on this?
And I promise the superstars will create themselves, guys. Don't worry.
I've got it. The ultimate wager, slap bet.
Oh, slap bet. We used to do those when I was a kid.
What the hell's a slap bet?
Whoever's right gets to slap the other person in the face as hard as they possibly can, but no rings.
Last but not least, we usually do our birthday shout out at this time, but instead of doing a birthday shout out, what I decided that we would do instead is celebrate the great Stone Cold Steve Austin. It is 3/16.
What?
Happy 3/16 day to Mr. Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're the fucking man. You inspired a generation, and I just don't want anybody to forget that at one point you had that fucking wicked salad. I don't really know about them cheetah shorts, you know what I'm saying? But hey.
Give me a hell yeah!
And do me a favor. This is important, all right? It's important. Do not forget to, number one, I know everybody else says like and subscribe. Fuck that. You subscribe to my shit first, and then you like it. All right? Subscribe first. Do that first, and then like it. Or don't. You know, you don't have to do either one. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna do them both, start with subscribe, and then, you know what I mean? But anyways, whoop. Man, I never make that shot. Must be the luck of the Irish. All right, I love you guys. See you next week.